Welcome back, everybody, to that show they call Fire Emblem. We are going to kill lots of shit. Don't forget to bring your thief, because the boss has an upgrade you can steal off of him, i.e. a hero's crest, I believe. Also, he's really good at seeing the enemy. Smelling the enemy. No, not smelling it. But he does a good job at seeing them. I also, because I kind of wanted to keep, my troubadour active. I didn't give her the card that reduces cost stuff. So instead I gave it to the thief, because I need him in this mission to steal shit, but I don't really need him to do much more than that. This is going to be kind of a heavy flyer mission, so we're going to be, even though I didn't bring Lowen in to this mission, it's going to be probably advantageous for me to use primarily axe and spear users. I brought Guy along because he needs some levels, but I also brought Guy along because we are going to run in some axe users and some mages, so I want to kind of have him available as needed. I don't know how to explain this. We've talked about tier lists and how characters that can fly are better than characters that can't fly, and characters that can move far are better than characters that can't move as far. So, for instance, Weapon Rider, Weapon Lords, Pegasus Knight, Falcon Riders, Falcon Knights, are better because they can fly and they go in any direction they want to, pretty much. And then next is followed by the horse unit. So Cavaliers, Paladins, Valkyries, what do they level up in oh, right, Troubadour to Valkyrie. So they're better than foot soldiers, okay? And then from there, there's a little distinction in there, okay? Characters that can hit at 1 and 2 at the position of both directly next to them as well as 2 spaces away from them beat out characters that can only hit in one position. But characters like Elwood, everybody else pretty much, who can hit 1 or 2, or 1 with all of their weapons and 1 or 2 with certain, like, throw weapons, beat out archers, because archers can only hit from distance. So if they get overwhelmed by a group of, say, 5 guys, those guys all have to attack from a range of 2, because if they get next to the archer cannot do anything. So that's kind of what makes archers not as good. Now, obviously archers have the ability to use these trebuchets if they're on the field. They're not always on the field. Okay. And if you can put a wall between you and the enemy, or the enemy doesn't have, say, a throwing weapon, then basically the opposite happens, where the archer is, the superior one. But it gets very difficult, because as you bring them into range and you start bringing them towards the front line, they either need to do one of 2 things. They either need to be able to tank the damage that's being dealt to them, or they need to be able to evade the damage that's being dealt to them. Now, I'm going to say I'll apologize if you've already heard this story from me, because I'm not going to lie, a lot of the stuff I've said in both this playthrough, Elwood's playthrough, probably repetitive at this point. You're tired of probably hearing me talk about, well, this character's better than this character because of this reason. It's unfair that archers and non-horse units get such a bum rap. There's my thoughts on it. It's better to have defense than to have offense. But if you can't have defense, it's better to have evasion, so you don't take any damage. So my tier list, if we were just doing the statistics, would go defense, evasion, then resistance. Because you can be a super evasive or super tanky guy, you're not going to run into a ton of mages. You are going to run into mages, but when you have the ability like this, where you can make the first hit, plus the fact that this game isn't super well balanced for mage users, i.e. all the books are too heavy and they don't get enough constitution, yeah, that definitely falls down on my tier list of best stats to have. After that would probably be, trying to think, I think attack comes next for me, and then skill. No, speed then skill. I'd rather get a second opportunity to hitting someone and missing 50% of the time than to have 100% accuracy and only hit once. And then obviously luck. Luck is basically what it is. It's great for adding to evasion. Skill, speed, luck. Those are the three you need to get evasion. I get it. I'll have to rethink this, actually. I'm like sitting here thinking like, well, Chris, you have to have attack / magic, otherwise you're not doing damage. But it doesn't really matter if you have the defense and you're not taking any damage. Okay? And then the same thing can be said about health. Health is great. You want to have 60 health, that's great. But if you're taking 20 damage every hit, that's not great. So you can definitely see where defense beats health. Speed definitely beats skill. And obviously you need all of them, as I've reiterated like 15 times. I always complain about, oh, I can't believe Hector got only his good stats. I use the stats that he's got like a 40% chance of getting, and not like the one that he has like a 20% chance of getting. And the other nice thing about speed is, in addition to possibly allowing you to crit, it also prevents them from doubling you. So you see where Ella would hit twice, where only that Pegasus Knight only hit once. You see how that's very advantageous. Now, mind you, if Ella would have been doing 2 damage, and the Pegasus Knight's doing 10, you're not really trading there. You're losing that battle. So, we're going to be investigating some more of these shops here with our thief to make sure that when you want to pick anything up, I think I'm going to pick up one set of the steel weapons. So one steel axe, one steel lance, one steel sword, just so I have some change, opportunity, difference, balance, whatever you want to call it. But we are going to load up on iron weapons because, in all likelihood, the small amount of attack I'm going to be getting from steel weapons, even if I'm still able to double because I've got the constitution for it, probably not going to matter as much as the fact that I spent X amount of dollars more for, 10 less hits? I think it's 5 less hits. No, it's 10 less hits. Okay, because Iron weapons, no, more than 10 actually. Because iron weapons give you like 45, and this is 30. Wow. Anyways. I don't care about antitoxin in this game. I've said this before, like the poison weapons should either build the poison, so that every time you get hit by a poison weapon, it adds an extra poison counter on you. So instead of it doing, say, 2 poison damage, it does 4 damage every turn. And then, like, really give me a reason to go out and buy an antitoxin. Or really give me a reason to, like, keep my healers close. Or have a second healer, even. I'm gonna, unfortunately, feel a little stress, I think, with my current healer setup. Because I've got just the Troubadour here taking healing duties on everybody. And I gotta keep her well behind the line so she doesn't die or get hit by a javelin. The fact that Dorcas does not double just drives me up a fucking wall. Because Portray, he doesn't have quite the accuracy that Dorcas has, but he has the ability to double. So, like, yeah, and I just value speed and strength so much more than I do skill or luck. I mean, obviously defense has got to be 1. Resistance has got to be in there somewhere for me, because if this game was a little bit more mage heavy, or the magics were a little more balanced, or the enemies were more balanced to the magic, how heavy the magic is, maybe I'd feel differently. I don't know. This is like what, my second or third Elysian whip, knowing that I'm using none of the Pegasus Knights, and that just leaves Heath as the final non-promoted flyer in the game. We'll see. So, here's a question for you, the 1 or 2 people that actually watch my videos, that is. What do you think about cell phone? And by that I mean, like, I noticed there's a difference between myself and my sister, who's technically, even though we're so far apart in age, we're technically considered the same generation. And my brother, the youngest, who's considered a different generation because, you know, your generations are about somewhere in the ballpark of about 15 or 18 years or whatever the cutoff is. I don't really remember. I think it's every 18 years or so. The weird part is, despite the fact that him and my sister are only a few years apart, my sister tends to act more like a millennial, and my brother tends to act more like whatever the next one's called, a Zennial or whatever they call them now. And by that I mean, like, the phone thing. I'm not a very text-heavy guy. Like, if I want to talk to you, I'm going to talk to you on the phone. And that's not really the point I want to get at here, because as a man, I also don't like to talk on the phone very much. Like, I kind of see the phone as like I'm going to talk to you and deliver some information, and I want you to deliver me some information. And we're going to get off the phone in a couple minutes, okay? Now, if I haven't talked to you in a while, like, for instance, it's been a week or 2 or a month, and I'm calling one of my siblings, or I'm calling my parent, or, you know, my parents, or maybe, I don't even know, maybe even a friend I haven't talked to in a while. Yeah, maybe I'll talk to you for a while, like a half an hour or something, okay? But boy, do I get tired of holding that phone. I know there's you know, hands-free devices allow you to, you know, talk on the phone either via speakerphone or Bluetooth or whatever. Long story short, sometimes when I call or text my youngest brother, he won't respond at all. And I like, okay, I understand, like, if you read, like, for instance, if we do a group chat with my other siblings, so sometimes my brother Steven will do something stupid like, oh, I don't know, not tell us about the new car he bought down in Colombia, but rather talk about this big old snot bubble that is my niece blew this morning. Send a couple pictures of that, make Chris and Julie want to throw up. Meanwhile, Greg just doesn't respond at all. Okay. I get it. You know, you're not interested. You don't want to stoke add kindle the flame or fire, or, you know, stoke the flames or whatever. Add gas to the fire, but I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if he even like reads it or looks at it, or if he looks at it, does he just sort of like kind of do like the thing like as if I'm standing next to him? He just sort of goes like this and shakes his head. It's like, hey, you can all hear me shaking my head, right? Like, you can tell which direction I'm shaking my head, whether it's no or yes. See my face, know exactly how I'm feeling. It's a criticism, yes, but it's not like, I understand he's his own guy, he's his own man, he's his own person, he's got his own life to live, he's got his people, you know, his friends to see, girls to date, beers to drink, or whatever the hell he does, video games to play. It doesn't require him to have to answer all of my texts, or even look at them for that matter. I get it. I'm just sort of wondering, because it just seems like he never texts us back, whether it be my mother or my sister or the group text or whatever. And it's just like, you know, you don't want to get you know, you don't want to get like, whatever the correct word is, you don't want to like go off the deep end, be like, I wonder if Greg's okay, or if he got into a fight, is in a gutter somewhere. Yeah. I'm actually going to grab my dancer here and pull her back a little bit, because she is uncomfortably close to this front line where there's a fog of war. So I can't say that there isn't a Wyvern Rider or a yeah, I'm counting faces to see, like, is she possible? Yeah, she's possible. She is in range of that. Look at that. Isn't that disgusting? And that. So now I'm gonna have to roll the luck meter here, because I mean, whoever decides to go first is gonna get to attack my thief, who's holding my dancer right now, which is great. But only one of the two can attack. And if I move Elwood up, then only one of the two can attack, you see. But if I don't move Elwood, I'm giving him at least a chance of taking on the very slow knight, instead of taking on the Wyvern Rider that might wreck his day. See, I actually did that. I think I did that correctly. Not that the Wyvern Rider was going to do more damage, but I just thought that between his ability to evade and his speed, he has a better chance going up against a general that are generally slower than a Wyvern Rider who could be faster and stronger. Yeah, I think I've been okay either way. I was thinking you guys can, if you guys can stop spawning in, that'd be super duper. Particularly the Wyvern Riders, you can be done spawning in now. You are, because of the nature of, again, you being a flying unit, which, again, I understand when people talk about what makes a good character, what makes a great enemy? Flying, the ability to go over anything, not have to worry about, you know, going around the wall, instead I'll just fly over top of it. Sit on top of it, if you will. It's like literally what, I mean, this is like the best way to handle this situation. You're not gonna outrun the weapon rider on feet, but you can certainly do it with a pair of cavaliers. I tell you what, if I didn't make some sort of arbitrary rules about what characters I was going to and not going to use, I would definitely bench Dorcas, and I would definitely bench Guy in favor of two more Cavaliers. Can the Cavaliers crit like a Myrmidon? No. But can they fucking stand up to a hit? Yes. Can they evade like a Myrmidon? No. But can they hit harder than a Myrmidon? Yes. Can he move 7 spaces? No. But my Cavaliers can. Maybe it's a mixed blessing. They don't seem to, because I'm pretty sure the computer realized it doesn't have a very good chance of hitting my Myrmidon. It just avoids him entirely. So maybe that's a positive way of looking at it. Because in that case, the Myrmidon's always attacking, not taking the damage. So, lots of healing needs to be done. I was talking in the last episode about why these episodes are so late. These episodes are so late because I lost Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday recording. And in addition to all that fun jazz, I also lost most of Monday's recording as well. Because I worked till 5 o'clock. Then I had to drop my coworker off. Now it's 6 o'clock. Drove to my parents' house because guess what? It's springtime in the Northeast. And our grass is starting to grow like a weed. Like grass does in the spring, you know? Really quickly, it's really healthy and green and lush, and you know, it's getting lots of cool, wet, sunny temperatures. Getting everything it absolutely loves right now. Later on in the year, when the sun's higher, there'll be too much sun, not enough rain, and it'll just sort of brown out or slow down at least. But yeah, luckily my dad cut half the grass, which I kind of wish he wouldn't do because he had that heart attack last year, but I know he's been sort of cleared to go back to normal, but I understand we're kind of in a situation right now where it's like and I mentioned this in an earlier episode, the heart is a muscle, it needs to be used, otherwise you lose it. But once you had that heart attack, you start wanting, like the best thing you could, like literally the best thing my dad can do is exercise and move his heart and get it pumping and exercise it, you know? And like at the same time, like it's not a piece of china either. It's not going to suddenly break on him because he's using it too much. You know, my grandmother lived a number of years after getting her stint in. And she didn't die because she had a second heart attack or something. You know, she was active, going up and down hills. Shit. You know? But yeah, that's where I was. I went from there to my parents' house, which is about 20 minutes away or so. I cut the grass for like an hour, ate dinner, came back here, and started working on and uploading videos. I know. We got a lot to clean up here, unfortunately. I don't got a lot of time to do it either. Weird to see an archer here, though. Yeah, let's slay some worms. Worm. Great. Just fantastic. And you missed. Great job. Doing super duper right now. Luckily, I still got 3 more guys to use. Worm Slayer. That can work, I guess. Plus, I've got my Dancer. I don't think she can really reach anywhere, though. Maybe she can. Particularly if it's Hector. Kinda wish Hector had his fucking iron sword. I'm wasting all of this fucking silver shit on these guys. Speed luck, I love it. All evasion is what it is. Dead. Did a good job cleaning up there. We wiped everything out that I could reach without traipsing into the boss's area. That's a lot of damage. I hope that... I evaded that one, luckily. Because I'm pretty sure Urk would be dead. He might still be dead, though, because I got a fucking Wyvern Rider coming my way. Thane took care of business down there, that's good. Missed, good. Said I'd rather have defense over evasion, but if I gotta have one or the other, if I can't have one, I'll have the other. Thank you very much. So I think we're done with, or we're close to being done with reinforcements now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably try to take a quick peek here. Once we do clear out this area, I am going to use the Colosseum a little bit. I'm mainly going to do it for money and less so for levels because it's going to take too long to level up these guys. We are going to rescue the mage I just put there because I am not interested in bringing up the boss right now, who's probably going to smear the shit out of me. Rescue. Back 2 spaces. Hector picks up the thief. Picks up the thief. Drops him over here. Everybody's out of range again. Great. Bane, you can come down here. I'm gonna probably, well, after I make sure everybody's healed, I'm probably gonna send either Stain or I'll probably send Stain actually. I'm basically gonna send him back to Merlin as to drop off all of our trinkets and goodies, and to reinforce Hector with a iron weapon. Alright, that should be the last of the reinforcement. Embarrassing. I think I'm gonna let the Poison Lance guy come in. He can't do any major damage to me. Like, seriously? Cannot do any major damage to me other than maybe the mage. Nobody up there. Running out of experience for Hector there, buddy. I'll be done experiencing things in a while. For a while, anyways. That should be all the guys for now. So we can start looking forward to some quick grinding, and then I'll come right back right after that. Yep, nothing up there. Check to see where the boss is down there, but let's grind some shit out. But we're all done grinding, isn't that great? I only wasted probably about 10 or 20 turns. So basically what we're doing now is we're just going to get ourselves into position. You can see I had Stain go take care of himself. Take care of himself, please. Not the right way of saying that. I was going to say, yeah. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to give an axe to our buddy, our friend, our pal. And then this should be enough to lure him up to the boss that is upwards, so we can then start taking some chunks out of him. Alright, I'm actually slightly out of his range right now, that's okay. So we want to send someone with tankiness, i.e. Hector. And, or I guess I could have also sent my Myrmidon. Probably would have been able to evade, at least initially, some of the crap. It ends here. Wow. That was unexpected, Hector. And that's all the experience you're getting for probably the next 10 levels. Wow, Hector, just cleaning up. Alright, well, I gotta bring this guy into position because I need him to steal some shit. Then after that, it should be pretty smooth sailing because I'm guessing he probably used, using a bow. I don't think he has a throwing weapon on him. Even if he does, I don't think it's going to matter because between like 3 people that can all reach him, I should be able to fucking be able to do at least enough damage to kill him on the next shot. Whoopsie! Yeah. Trade means I'm going to lose another guy. That's alright. Do what you gotta do there, buddy. Yeah, he's got the steel bow, which means that no matter who attacks him, he'll be clean. I obviously don't want Hector to do it because it's just a waste of... Bye-bye. Guaranteed 100%. 10 damage. I love it. Black Bang? Question mark? Dead. Arg. I'm dead. Killed me. You punched me in me meds. Oh, it moves to 19. Great. All right. Next episode,